So here it is. The 1995 Yamaha waveblaster has some issues, and we're about to find out what is going on here. So about a little while ago, ended up driving this around, noticing when I first bought it that there was some sort of gurgle, some sort of issue with the carbs not fully going WOT or wide open throttle. It wasn't actually working. There was some gurgling going on. So noticing there was some issues, took it off for a spin, took the top off a few times in the last video, tried to figure out what was going on. Found out that the exhaust clearly was coming through here. You can see it right here. There was exhaust getting into the interior, and these skis can't run on carbon dioxide. They have to run on oxygen. So when they run on carbon dioxide, they die. So if exhaust is in here getting sucked into the intake, it's not going to work. The carbs aren't going to fire correctly. The fuel isn't going to mix with air correctly, so on and so forth. So I noticed that this was a little loose, and I was like, huh, what's going on here? And if you look inside here, this right here has been broken for some time. Let me get it down a little bit closer. Right there, see the rust around the bolt and the missing bolt right there in the head? Well, that's the reason why this thing does not run. There's a bolt that holds this bracket to the motor, and this bracket holds the exhaust up and in like this. So with it down, you can see the exhaust moves and the exhaust comes out of here. So this is a typical ID hose right here that's connected to this, which holds these two together, and here's the clamp here. So it can't hold it together when you're driving and this thing's knocking all over the place. It's going to throw the exhaust off. So unfortunately, what I have to do is pull this all off, figure out if that bolt in the head right there is stripped. If it is, then I have to tap a new one and I have to get a new bolt. And then what I have to, and pray that there's no damage down there. It sounds that the machine's healthy, so I don't think that's the issue. But this right here, I have to pull this off, and I thought this would have been cast aluminum, but it's not. It's cast iron. You can see there's actually rust there. So that is a dead giveaway that this is actually cast iron. So I could weld this without too much issue. I can't weld the bottom. I could weld the top only, so it could hold it at least somewhat in until I could get a new bracket made up. I can actually make this bracket not too difficult. You can see the weld here for this bracket coming off here, and this is just flat stock for the most part. So I'm gonna weld it. I'm gonna take a template of what this is and then make another one of them too, because why not? This thing isn't too hard. So it just sucks to get a ski that you pay pretty much top dollar for, whereas you can get these for a little bit cheaper. You get these for like $2,000, sometimes $1,500, and sometimes they could be mint. You know, that's kind of like the Jammer over there. That's a $500 ski. I think I paid like $600 for that, and it runs perfect. But yeah, sometimes it's just what you get. But these skis are worth it. The hull is in good shape. They are worth it to keep going, repair, and make it work. So later on in this video, I might show some welding on that, get it put back in, and test it. Let's get it done now, and let's see what happens when we get everything put back together. I cleared the carbs a little bit more, and it runs a little bit better without the top on. So let's see how that goes. All right, here we go. I'm going to start taking these off. All right, let's get these out of here. There goes all the water. Water out of the water box. That's going to be trouble getting out. All right. So this should just connect to itself. So it should just come right out. There we go. Let's see. Here's the bracket right there. Make sure there's no cracks on the exhaust manifold. Doesn't look like it. So just these two 12s, I might be able to get it. Let's try it. When in Rome, right? Pull out the 12. See if we can get it. The exhaust manifold does not have to come out. Okay, all right, worked. And then the real tricky part is going to be So these will come out. I'm actually gonna stuff these back in here because knowing me, these will be gone in a matter of no time. Last thing I want to do is drop it in the hole since these are stainless. Trying to get them back would be very difficult. All right, so let's take a look at the bracket here. Here's the bracket. That's what it should look like. You could see this thing is rusty and this cracked right here. You can see the exhaust hasn't been sealing. Bracket that wasn't made for this, or if it was, it wasn't designed properly. What do you think? Looks like it's cast iron, right? If it is, I could weld it. Does appear to be, so let's try it out. Right there. Come across right here, the right angle here. Right there. All right. Gonna hit a little bit on the bottom right here. Always wear the right attire. Now this one could be thick because this is the top. Just want good penetration, that's all I want. That's it. We're gonna take it, we're gonna grind this off, see how it looks.
Tappa, tappa, tappa.
There it is. Not the prettiest, but we'll spray it up. Pop back in, see if it runs any better. Never happened. All right, we're back welded, barely can notice it. It's back in here. The only thing I have to do is get this in here, but I'm gonna leave it empty for now because now this is good. Now the next thing is to get the exhaust back in, the water box back in, and give it a try. All right, we're in. We're just putting the rest of these bolts on. Gotta get the third one in there too, behind, on there. I get the water box back on, and then we're good. Last step, get the stainless steel hose clamps, get some on there, and then we should be ready to take her out. So we're gonna fire her up, see what she does. All right, everything's connected now. The hose clamp is nice and tight. The bracket right here is good now, and water box is nice and tight. All the hose clamps are set, new hose clamps on there. Let's fire her up, see how she runs. All right, well, this thing's ready to be fired up. Did a little test. Let's turn this on. Let's turn the start button up. Seems to be running better now. So next video, see it on the water, see how it performs, and hopefully it's better off than last time. All right, guys, take it easy. Stay tuned for the next one.